Hello, Twitch. Welcome, and hello, YouTube as well. Because I'm gonna be posting these on YouTube, I guess. Today, the plan is to start work on an SVG-based avatar creator power app. I don't have a huge plan for this. This is just an idea that kind of popped into my brain as I've been learning about SVGs and stuff. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool to have something that you could make a little simple avatar and maybe use that as your Office 365 pick? Or we, at the company I work for, we do have the ability to post your own picture for like our employee portal app. And so I thought, well, maybe that could be a fun thing for that, for a company-wide employee avatar or something like that. It's going to be a pretty art asset heavy build. And so I kind of want to make it as simple as possible, because I don't really want to spend all my time making, hair and eyes and mouths and things like that. So yeah, we'll kind of see where it goes. But my initial thought is pretty simple, that there will be hair, a general face, and then a body, and like maybe some clothing options, so like some shirts or things like that. And then maybe if seeing where it goes, I thought that maybe like having some accessory type things, like a name tag type thing, or a badge, or I don't know, jewelry, something like that. We'll kind of see how far we want to take this and where it goes. But the initial thought was just a real basic design, and yeah, so we'll kind of get started. A couple things that I wanted to recognize, though. I just wanted to give some thanks to everyone who donated last week with the extra live stream. It was amazing. I'm still recovering. But yeah, it was awesome. So just wanted to call people out here by name: Franco Musso, Geetha Sivasalim. If I'm saying your name wrong, I'm really sorry, Geetha. Brian Dang, Azure McFarlane, and 2 anonymous donors. Thank you so much. Truly awesome. I mean, every dollar is amazing, and you guys gave a bunch. I mean, Brian, crazy, super crazy. Just far and above what I would ever have hoped to have raised in my first time out, and I just really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. You guys are all rock stars. The anonymous donors, I don't know who you are, but you're rock stars too. Thank you so much. So with that, and one other thing too, I wanted to bring up. So from the last 2 weeks ago, the stream, we're trying to build a particular component, and we wrapped up with it not being finished at all, and it was getting just really weird visuals. Like the shapes were just going all out of whack. I did not know it was happening. Well, so I closed down, after the stream, and just let it be. Fired it up the next day, and let me show you something that we have here. So I don't know what was going on with the shapes, but upon closing and reopening it, everything just kind of worked. So I have no idea what this thing would be useful for. It looks kind of cool, but I don't think it has much practical use. I still probably will throw it in the New Morphism Examples app. I've not made much progress on that, unfortunately. I'll get it out eventually. It's been a little crazy times here, but it's in the hopper. We'll get it out. So yeah, so just wanted to show that thing. It's doable. Again, it looks cool. I don't know what the heck you do with it. It's just a nice little playing animation, I guess. But yeah. So without further ado, I'll just shut off my cam here because I'm having some trouble figuring out how to keep it out of the way of things. So I figure it might just be better to not be in there. And let's start building. We're going to go from scratch on this. Oh, thank you for the follow there. Let me see if I can get your name. The thing just popped up. Quasar Chains. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Feel free to say, oh, yeah, hey, all right. So yeah, we'll get building this thing. And so today, kind of my thought is that we'll basically just start with kind of the UI and get some of the technical side down with how we're going to. Hey, yeah, happy to represent, man. It's awesome, and I say, man, I got to stop saying, man. It's a habit. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to represent, and hopefully this will be something interesting and useful. But overall, it's just fun to build this stuff, and all these builds I do plan on. All good person, yeah. Thank you. Yes, that doesn't have the ring, off the tongue, but thank you, person. I do plan on releasing all of these to the community through the Power Apps forums, the official Power Apps forums. So yeah, so they'll appear there eventually. So yeah, let's get this started. So the first thing that I'd like to do is just block out some of the basic UI elements. So I don't know, just a little old and busted, but we're going to do just the header at the top. We're going to need an image that's going to be like the kind of deliverable item from this. And we want it to be pretty big in there. And let's get this, like, just so we can start to see things. Oh yeah, we gotta do this from here. We'll just get some colors blocked out so we can start to get a feel for this, and we'll work on the specifics with colors and all that later. We'll probably finish that up today, but so I thought we'd kind of get this thing and then have like our controls and UI and stuff over here. Like I said, I think this is going to be pretty basic. Oh, I'm building an SVG-based avatar generator. So basically, yeah, just going to produce an SVG image of an avatar that's pretty basic, like some hair, a face, and then like a body. So that's the general plan. And yeah, hopefully so. We'll see. It's kind of just an idea that I've had for a while that I wanted to try, and today's the day. We're going to go for it. So yeah, we'll just block this out in general, but have a gallery where we can choose the different items, so like hair, face, body, and any other things that we add. We will have another gallery. I'll do a vertical one here. Oops. And this will be where all the different items that we can pick live. And then we are also going to need a color picker of some kind. And with that, I think, I don't know, for now, we'll just do this, but we'll probably have a pretty basic, pretty small one. I don't know that we're going to get too crazy and have like a real serious color edit or anything. Try to get some, like maybe like some basic skin tones and then a variety of colors, and maybe a place that we could enter a custom color for each of those. So while this doesn't look like much right now, we'll get some borders on here and stuff. So just to have this a little more visible. So yeah, so basic shapes of things. So now we'll get some data layers going on, and I think, let's see, I usually, a lot of the stuff I build, I do like loading screens and things because they're more involved. So I don't use the on start to load things very often, but we're going to do that today. And so what we're going to want, let me think about this a bit. Well, so the first collection, and I know we don't need to do a clear collect here because we're non-start, but it makes it a little nice for like the reset behaviors. So I usually start off with a clear collect. And I'm going to do what we call this our avatar categories, maybe. And this will be basically what stores the different items to select to add to our little guy or girl or person or whatever. And something I always do, which I don't know if it's a great habit or not, but I always put an ID in. And the main reason I do that is for just sorting purposes. So that if I decide that I want to sort things a different way, I've got an easy way to do that now with this local collection. Comes in handy. Sometimes it's not necessary, but and then we'll just have the category, and these are going to be text, and we'll start with hair, and then we'll just copy paste this. And go with the face. Oops. And the body. All right. Oh, Wyoming's all right. It's pretty chilly, but doing okay. Where are you from there, Quasar Chains? What, are you U.S. or somewhere else? Florida. Oh man. Well, how's it in Florida? I'm sure the weather's warmer than here. Sunny. Oh man. Yeah. Probably 65, 70 degrees. I'm jealous a tad. Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually know what the temperature is outside, but it's been just windy. So we're at a balmy 34 degrees right now, just under 80. Ooh. I don't know if you want to switch with the 34 and windy. I don't know, but you've got the humidity too, I'm sure, so that probably makes it less fun. All right, so with these, I think because we've got so few categories, what we're going to do, so we're going to space these out uniformly and maybe get the font size that fits a little better. So we'll just do this simple divide by 3 thing, and we're going to cut out the template padding. And let's get these guys to fit. I love the parent properties, template width, template height, width and height. It makes this stuff so easy. And let's see. So I don't play around with fonts too much, which is something I need to do. So let's try to do something kind of fun with this. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of choices, but we'll do Lato. And we're gonna make our font a bit bigger. Let's see what 20 looks like here. That's okay. Let's scale this down a bit. And we'll center these guys up. I don't normally go in this view. I always work in this advanced thing. I'm trying to kind of break out and use the full spectrum of things, but this is kind of where I live. All right. And you know what we could do? Let's kind of give this, I've got an idea. So, we're gonna add buttons. And maybe we'll just do this with buttons, in fact. But what I'd like to do is maybe have a different kind of look to this, where it looks like one of those iOS button pickers where it's kind of rounded on each side. So we'll see if we can't do that. That'd be kind of fun. So Quasar Chains, are you a power apper? I'm guessing. Do you do that for a living, or do you just do it for fun? What's your story with power apps there? No. Oh, nice. Yeah, the full. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Well, congrats to you, and man, wish you luck on your way. Feel free to chime in with any questions or anything that you have. I'm happy to chat. The stupid M365 license, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot in that license. It's pretty crazy. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the bang for the buck. Can you fix everything? Well, probably not everything, unfortunately, but yeah, it's a bargain. Yeah, I myself got started on the Excel side, and then I got a job working for a company to digitize things, and that's about when Power Apps came out, a little shortly after that. So I've been fortunate to be able to dive into Power Apps on a daily basis. So it's been pretty nice. It's been fun. I wish you luck on your journey, man. It's a fun one. Frustrating at times and difficult at times, but fun. All right, so we're gonna do a little trick here. For the corners, where so this corner radius, we want this to kind of be a little bit dynamic for certain cases. And so think about how I'm gonna do this. We basically want to take the, oh, this is where we can use the ID. Oh yeah, yeah, it is very hard while in the thick of the business stuff. That's, yeah, man, ugh. I hear that. That's where I feel very fortunate that I'm luckily, that's kind of my job. I'm kind of the tech guy there. So I have a bit more liberty to just think about the technical side. But when you're the thick of the business, man, I can really appreciate that. So are you a small business owner then yourself? you owning the place and running it, or what's your story? Okay, insurance. All right. Yeah, so I'm sure there's many scenarios where something like power-ups could be helpful if you can get through making it to get the fruits of your labor there. Well, I wish you the best, and you know, I think I saw that might have been you that threw me a follow on Twitter. I'm guessing that's you. There's a great crowd. Oh yeah. Excellent. I'll check the link in a bit. But there's a great crowd on Twitter. Just so many helpful people. That was you. Okay, excellent. Well, I will check you out and let me throw you a follow back real quick. But I've found that Twitter is one of the most helpful places. I know it has a reputation, but and especially during an election year, it could be an interesting place to be. But as far as power apps goes, it's amazing. It's super great. So yeah, I'm sure I'll run into you around there too. All right. So what I'm going to do on this thing is we're going to use the ID, and we want to check to see if it's. Oh yeah. I don't even know if there are people really doing this on Twitch, to be honest. I just kind of had the harebrained idea to get on. I've been feeling like I wanted to kind of push myself a bit. So if you find more people on Twitch that are doing things like this, if you wouldn't mind shooting me a link to them, that'd be great. Yeah, well, I'm glad you love it, man. That's awesome. Again, man. I can't stop saying it. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna basically see if this matches the min of what was that called? It was avatar categories .id. I think we can do that. Let's see. Can we? Oh, no, I'm giving a table. Okay. I don't use min very often at all. So here's what we'll do. Just to cheat this, we're going to use first. And I'll figure that part out later. And then if it does match, we want to set this to be our gallery. Well, actually, let's do the parent template height. Oops. And multiply that by 2 because that's technically what we need it to have. Otherwise, we want it to be 0. And this is maybe not the smartest way to do this because if we rearrange those things and have our minimum ID not be the first one, then this will look really funky. So we'll come back to this and get a better way for that. But for right now, just getting the look. And so we're going to do this also for the bottom left. And then for the top and bottom right, we're going to do last. All right, so we've kind of got the look, the general look of what we want with this. Gonna try to keep it a little, I guess, on the cartoony side, with these very rounded things and larger fonts and stuff like that. Just because it's kind of meant to be fun, so we'll try and keep it fun. Now, we do want to change the colors around based on what is selected. And that's pretty simple to do. We will go to our object and with the fill color, do another if statement. and basically say if this, this item.id equals our gallery. That's one, right? Selected.id. Oops. We'll keep this color, and if it's not, then let's change it just enough so that we can tell. Okay. Again, we'll come back to these colors and set this up a little better, but at least this way we can kind of select these. Oh, we're getting a little funky. What's going on with that? Oh, there's a border. Okay, yeah. Need to turn off the border. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, it's looking a little better. Okay. So we can choose which object we want. This is going to be a little hodgepodge here because I haven't made any art assets for this. And yeah, that'll be a thing. So to make these other galleries, I'm going to kind of do some placeholders, and we'll take it from there and see what we get. But for now, let's see. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to use the concurrent function. Even though these probably won't be that big or take that much time to load in, we're just going to do the concurrent so they all happen at the same time and just make it that much faster. And I'm going to put 3 of those in, and we'll come back here and fix all this mess. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to have, let's see, there's going to be colors. And we're going to have what we call this, the avatar items, I guess. Okay, what do we not like in here? What am I messing up? Oh, right there. Jeez. Yep. That'll be better. Okay. So, kind of the design thought with this, again, with the data side, is that we have a table that is a bunch of basically SVG items, like just the paths that we make. And the thought is that we'll have this that serves to collect those items. So we choose them from these different menus. Let me refresh this so that it gets that back. We pick items in here, and they just kind of appear in this. But we've got a master list that it's picking those, and this thing is deciphering where to put them. That's the general thought. So we will get... Oh, and with this, we're going to use this wrap count. And let's say 4 items, and we'll make these squares. Or as squarish as we can get them. So let's see, I don't know, maybe 160. Will be kind of good. And for now, we're just going to stick a label that connects to our data. So we better connect our data source. And I'll tell you what, we're going to change this just to help us out a little. So we'll just make item 1. Oh, you know what? Actually, here's one thing before I get ahead of myself. I do want to keep this category, because I want to use that to filter this list. And so we're going to add an item field here. Let's do item 1. So Quasar, have you started on any Power App builds? Have you tried your first item? Or are you just strictly in the learning phase? Tried? Yeah. What kind of app did you try? Let's see here. Get a few more of these. Got a whole bunch. Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to get a whole lot of ideas and just start going at them. That's for sure. Driver. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a great, man. Yeah, so kind of a field app that you're just getting all that info. That's fantastic. That's, man, great use case. Yeah, the things I make on this are going to be a lot less practical, I think, than that. This is, I don't know. We'll see where we go. I might build some other stuff that's more practical, but pain, yeah, driver license VINs, yeah. Oh man, yeah. Yeah. So just a thing that that might be helpful, but there was a person in the Power Apps forums that released an app that can scan the barcodes on driver's licenses and pull in that information. Yeah, so yeah, I've not really, I tried to use Excel a little bit early on, and it was a little crazy trying to get that to share stuff. Yeah, here, let me really quick, because let's go to this, because I actually use this in an app that I made for the company I work for. And we're going to go community. And it was these sample apps. And I'll post a link to this in chat too once I track this thing down. And who was it that made it? Boy. Yeah. Yeah, everything going into Teams. Which does look pretty cool with what they are doing with Teams. Was it? Oh, that's right here. This is it. Yeah, Eric Lott made this. Yeah, so basically you just scan that little QR code looking thing and it can extract all the data, and it totally works. It's awesome. So here's the link to that. But it's, yeah, the use case that I kind of put it to is when we have new hires. It just made it super simple to get all their information in. So you can just scan their barcode and do that. But yeah, well, I hope that helps. And yeah, if this is helpful, certainly give Eric here a like and everything. That's me raving about it because I really liked it too. But yeah, give him a shout out. He's awesome, great creator there, and hope that helps. All right, so we'll jump back into this thing real quick, and we can go ahead and build the filter for this. So let's see if I can type. Oh, yeah, we'll get that. So here's the way I think worked best. We're just going to take the category equals this item dot category. Oops. What am I doing here? I'll use a dot. All right. Let me think about what I'm doing here. Because I'm in the gallery, trying to filter the items. My brain is failing. Let's see what we got here. So, our category is definitely in there. Oh, names in the belt. So let's see. Maybe I did something in here that I messed up. No, I solidly have that. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, wow. I'm not thinking here. So, just so this is out there. Last weekend, I did a 24-hour gaming stream for the Extra Life program. It's basically a fundraiser for the Children's Miracle Hospital Network. I think I said that right. And I did the full 24 hours, and I'm still recovering. I'm getting a little too old for stuff like that, but it was really fun. Raised a decent amount of money. The whole thing raised like $12 million or something crazy. And our team raised about a little over 5,000, I think, was the grand total with the match from Microsoft. Yeah, too old for Twitch. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's a young person's game, but you know, we got to try. Got to do what we can. There's a bit of a learning curve to all this, but that's been kind of fun in its own way. So we're going to use this parent.template again. It's just so nice. Just let it handle all the work. Okay. So, just getting this roughed out. That's what we should see. It should just get those categories. You know, I've not really done anything with blockchain or crypto. Yeah, I know that our state is going crazy about it. But that's deeper than I've gotten into any of that. So yeah, talk about yourself. I mean, is there any tie-in with the blockchain or crypto with insurance and whatnot? I'm sure for record keeping and stuff that might be kind of nice. Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't see that. Yeah, I get yeah, I bet they do pretty nicely. Yeah, I get emails from like business council things and stuff like that, and they always seems like they're pushing what they're trying to do with blockchain, and so which is cool. I hope it's good. Yeah, crypto is awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of interesting stuff there. That yeah, it'll be fun to see the potential and where it goes. Yeah, I've not delved into it myself, but maybe someday. So I'm gonna do this just to. Yeah. Thanks for that link. Yeah, the Azure does have some cool stuff. I've not delved into that, but the company I work for is on Azure, so we do Azure SQL, and that might be I don't know. We'll see where that goes. See if there's a future for us. I work for a company that does like service work, It's a wormhole, yeah. I believe it. Most things are. You just go so deep with everything. There's so much to learn and explore. So you gotta pick your battles. Let's see. So here's what. Let's see. The colors. I'm gonna do another thing here. I should have done this back when I was adjusting this, but yeah, they basically. Sorry, I need to finish thoughts. But it's a company that does oil and gas wells. They service oil and gas wells. Yeah, I'm sure insurance. I mean, yeah, we deal heavily with our insurance agents, big time. So I bet you get into everything. Which would be, I don't know, that hopefully is kind of fun. It seems like it could be interesting at least. But yeah, the company I work for does oil and gas well servicing, which is it used to be a big thing in Wyoming and the surrounding areas, but with the way it's been kind of crazy. So yeah, but yeah, it's a company I work for, so I get to do just fun tech stuff for them and build apps and reporting and data things. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, if you want to share a link to that, I'd take that too. It'd be handy. Yeah, I'm curious to see where blockchain goes, because on one side I've heard people say that it's basically just like a database and they're not too excited about it, but then other people, it's going to change the earth. So we'll see where it goes. It's probably somewhere in between, as most things are, but let's see. So it's glorified Excel. That's awesome. I think that'll be the best description of blockchain right there. It's glorified Excel. That's awesome. Let's see what other colors. Black, we'll do a white, we'll do gray. And we'll just do this to kind of sort out. Is gray not a color? Is it AY? Oh, it must be AY. Forget that. I think that's the American one, right? AY is American gray and EY is everybody else gray. I think that's right. But okay. Run this again. And we'll get this thing set up to where we can have just a little simple color picker here. And let's see, what do we want to do with this? Well, we'll probably make this quite a bit smaller. And I think we can just set the, well, we'll just set the background. Maybe we'll do this really simple. We'll not even have a thing in here. Do the template fill. And, well, maybe that won't work for white, I don't know. Nah, we're going to need to do something else for that, because how will we know if we selected it? That'd be kind of fun to try and see what we can get away with. It's really minimal build, but we'll do our old friend the button. And we'll actually just that, make this transparent. And this way we can get our fill, but then we could still have a border. We can still have some like hovering behavior so that people would see what they're going over. potentially we could do some text if we find we want to later on, but for now, we'll do that. Okay. So I think the next thing, we'll go pick some colors and kind of get a scheme for this, which this is not my strongest suit all the time. So I rely heavily on this site just to get some ideas. Between this and the color enumeration for Power Apps, there's, oops, am I spelling this right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, do Power Apps in there too. I go to this page a lot, just to see what's kind of in there directly and get some ideas. And I don't know. Let's see what we got. Sure about a blue, green. If you got a favorite color, hey, shout it out. We'll see what we can do here. Oh, maybe green. Maybe we'll try like a green thing.
Never felt that before.
So we're going to take this color. We'll go here. And what's really nice about this site right here, if you've not been, is that it's got all of these different kind of palette building helpers. So you can get different shades. You can get like complementary colors. So things that'll fit nicely. Yeah, the monochromatic's nice to just get some colors that are similar but not too bad. Like that'll still contrast. Shades, also really good. I'm a bit of a neophyte with design. Lost your screen? Let me see what this is. I'm gonna just check this video real quick, Quasar.
DevCon.
Oh, okay, that's that. Oh,
Special
awesome.
guests
Thank
today.
you.
We've got Chris.
Thank you. I will be giving that a watch. That's awesome. So yeah, we'll maybe stick with this green. I don't know. We'll try this out. That's great. Yeah, thank you for that share. I do appreciate that. That's awesome. Okay, so what we will do. I don't save palettes in Adobe. I probably should. That would be a good use because I'm always on this site. But what I mainly do actually is I store them in SQL, because what I typically do is I am building color palettes for the apps, and I've got all of our apps set up to where the user can select a color palette, and so I just make different color profiles and save them as SQL tables. And you could actually do that with Excel or SharePoint or anything, because it's basically just saving text, because I just use the hex color. Yeah, but saving in Adobe would make things a lot better. I think I'd probably do less searching for things, or yeah, it's something you could retroactively do in there, if that's something you're interested in. I actually did not to get too self-promoty or go into this Power Apps forum site too much, but I should have gotten that community link down there. See if I can drag this up, but I did a blog post about a color palette. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Like a user selectable color palette thing. No, it's all right. It's all right. No distraction at all, really. This is kind of freeform. I'm not a serious streamer or anything. I'm not, on here with some goal that I'm pushing for so much, as I want to get out and build and hang out with people while doing that. And so this is all part of the game plan right here. This is perfect. So actually, I need to go to the community blog, I believe. And let me see. I'm trying to think of what I even called that thing. I did this a long time ago. I do watch other streams occasionally. Yeah, I'm not as much as I'd like right now. Things have been kind of busy, but yeah, I watch different gaming streams, and I would like to watch more of the coding and tech ones, because I'd actually like to get into some like quote unquote real app development, like learning C# and stuff like that. So that's on the docket for me, but I don't watch as many as I'd like right now. How about yourself? Do you have some favorite streams or streamers that you go with? Do this. See if I can search myself out. Well. Second week on Twitch. Well, hey, yeah. Oh, a personal cryptocurrency? Ooh. That's interesting. You're giving me a lot of links to check out. I'm going to check these out. Thank you for that. And happy second week on Twitch here. I'm on week 3 myself as far as streaming. Okay. Let's see if I can find this in a reasonable amount of time. I'm trying to think of when I even posted that. It was a while back. Let's try this. Oh man. Well, I might find this another time. I'm going to be a needle in a haystack here. My brain is not functioning properly to have good Google foo. Well, I'll find that, and we'll figure that out later. But yeah. Oh, actually, you know what I could do? I think we're gonna get dangerous here and be searching stuff. That's what I'll do. I'm gonna pull this window out, and we'll log into LinkedIn because I know that I linked it there. Well, we'll continue on with a little bit of stuff here, but I'll find that link and I'll post it in chat here in a sec here. All right. So with this build, getting our color palette, I think we'll do some shades, and let me think through how I want this to look, actually. We'll take some of these shades to start off, and we'll have this be our header. Okay. Oh, what am I doing here? So we got to do the color value, so it knows what we're dealing with here. And we would typically want to check and make sure that, at least I always try to check contrast ratios between colors, just to make sure that it's going to be useful for everybody that's going to use it. Things like color blindness and different colorability, like color detection ability. I don't know what the proper term for that is, but that's going to potentially come into play if we don't have good contrast ratios. I think that the white will be fine. Let me see if I have this. Okay, yeah, I'm going to utilize one of my things here. Ooh. Wow, we're getting some artifacting there. That was odd. But this is a little app that just basically takes colors and will give you the contrast ratio. So while I'm sure white is good for this, we're gonna check it and then use it for some of these other colors. Okay. Wow, so that's actually not very good. I'm surprised. And it doesn't matter where we put these, but that's interesting. So it'll be good for large text. So here's what we'll do maybe is, well, so our other option would be black, and I can't imagine that that's going to be any better. Yeah, okay. So that is actually better. We kind of picked an odd color here, it looks like. So here's where we'll go then. We're going to go white. And let's get this a darker shade. Maybe we'll go this guy. Let's see how this does. And again, this is just to make sure. Oh, whoops. Okay, that'll be acceptable. That's not so great on normal text, but since this is our header, I'm going to use large text and all that. Oh, yes. Thank you. You found the whole thing. Yes, that is it. Oh, well, I guess you found me on LinkedIn here. There you are. All right. Connecting back with you. Thank you for having better Google Foo than me right now. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that creeper here. Oh, hey, it's the internet, man. Aren't we all? You know. Yeah, I'm glad you found me out. That's awesome. Yeah, so hopefully this. I'll click on this just to get in this, but yeah, hopefully it gives all the things, and of course, hit me up if you have any questions about it or anything. This is the first blog post that I wrote ever on there, and I've only written a couple, I think. So I've got room to grow on the writing side. But yeah, let me know what you think and how that goes if you find it useful. And we'll get this color here. And we'll make this, well, not that big. 24. Let's see. And let's call this SVG Avatar Creator. And let's get our padding out a little more. At least 10. Well, see how that looks. That'll do. That'll do. And let's get a good background color. Thinking we want something maybe fairly light. But I don't really want to do white. And none of these colors are jumping out at me. Here's what I'll do. One of my favorite kind of colors to use, I call it like a tofu color, because it kind of seems to just go with whatever and take on the characteristics of whatever color it's around. But it's this straight 240 RBG color. It's just it's an okay gray. It's light enough that you know, it doesn't stand out too bad, but it just kind of seems to fit. You're cooking tofu tonight? Hey, all right, yeah, well, that's great. Enjoy your tofu and whatever else you're having with it. So yeah, and enjoy the tofu gray as well. It's definitely not the color of tofu, but it just the characteristics of it. So here we'll get this guy fitting our color palette. All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for all the commenting and the links and everything, and I'm sure I'll catch you around on the social media and stuff, and hopefully back here again. And Yeah, thank you. Enjoy your dinner. If I don't catch you then, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks, person. Yeah, yeah, we'll get there. I'll learn someday. All right, so let's pick our other greens here. I think we're gonna go, since we did that dark one for the header, we'll maybe go with this one for the non-selected, and maybe this light one for the selected, just to make it jump out. So let's find our colors down here. Just fill. So if it's selected, let's see what we're gonna do. This one's the non-selected. And we'll do the copy pasta on this for the next one. And see what we get. And yeah, not always winners. You're just going on the fly, but we'll see what we get. That's, I don't know. It's okay. Can't say I'm loving it, but that's all right. We'll do it for now and see what other inspiration hits. So one thing, let's see what's next. Sounds like I'm ready for dinner too. My stomach's growling. But I got some time yet for that. One thing that I do kind of want to explore and figure out, which will kind of depart from the design side, is how we're actually going to make the shapes and get them in here. And for that, I'm going to turn to my good friend PowerPoint, actually. And this is something that I've been I feel like I talk about this wherever I go, but it's so cool. So we're going to switch over to PowerPoint, and we'll put the webcam on again. Why not? But PowerPoint, in addition to making slides like everybody uses it for, close that out, you can also just generate graphics. And this is why I have a little joke line in my Twitter bio about being the founder of the Wyoming PowerPoint user group, because I actually use it for everything. And what am I looking for? Design. So we're going to make a square slide here. 75. And we're basically going to use this to plan out our graphics, and I'm going to make some placeholder items that we will then use to make sure we can get the SVG builder, like compiler or whatever that we're going to call that, because basically what's going to happen, and going back into here, is that when we select items in here, we basically are just going to be, like any avatar creator, putting them on this. But the way we're going to do it, is by injecting the SVG code, which is basically just text, into this. So we just want to get the bones for that set up, if that makes sense, if I'm explaining that properly. So here's what we're going to do, and we're just going to use some pretty basic things for this. For the body, I figure we can go something like this, and we'll will not end quite this basic, but what we're gonna make, it's gonna be pretty basic at the start. In fact, let me make sure. I think that I'm gonna do this using kind of a rule of thirds thing. I think that's how photographs are supposed to be set up for portraits, right? That so what I'll do, I'm gonna insert a rectangle, and let's set the shape fill, and we want some transparency here. And this is just going to help us to stage our shapes here. So I want this to be, let's see, so 7.5 divided by 3, that's going to be 2.5, if my math is right. Oh, not half. Oh, I didn't switch my inputs back. Yeah, sorry about that. Here's what I'm looking at. So again, we're just going to build a guy here that will help us to frame this. And let's see. So with this rule of thirds, well, I don't know. I don't know much about it. My wife was a photography major when we first got married in junior college, and I've not learned too much about it, so I probably should. I should ask her some really good questions about how to compose some things here, but for now, well, no, we won't do that. I was going to put some smiley faces, but I think we'll just do some circles. Kind of generic, so we need a bigger head than that. Let's do maybe 3.5 inches. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Well, I think I need this. I think we're looking fairly okay. We might want to have this down a bit more. Just so if we have some different hair that can stand out, maybe we'll set this to 3.25 instead. There we go. Okay. What we got on this? Let's make these some more common numbers here. Let's go 3.5 on that. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, yeah, I think that's all right. That's a decent framing. So the basic thing that we're gonna do, just to talk this through, is we're gonna make like 2 different of each of these items. We're gonna make 2 hair items that aren't gonna look like hair. Honestly, this is just kind of proof of concept. We'll make 2 face shapes and 2 body shapes. And essentially what we'll do then with PowerPoint is we can extract those, or export, I'm sorry, those to SVG, and basically have the code that we need to combine with, that we can inject these things into that image and make our shape. So let's try some of that. So I'm going to copy this, and to make this a different shape, let's look at our different shapes here. I think, well, how about we just make this kind of oblong? And for that, we're going to go to shape format, and let's just decrease our width a little bit. So we got like a super round and slightly narrower. Now let's not go so subtle. Let's do that. Okay. All right. So we got a couple shapes. Let's do kind of, yeah. Again, these are just, this is just kind of placeholder stuff. We're not going too crazy with making real art assets yet. Okay. So, got a couple things. Now we're going to make some fake hair. Which is, again, it's not going to look like hair. So let's do this. And I actually want to, well, I don't really care about the colors on these yet. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So it'll look more like a hat, maybe. Going for like a really bad, weird flat top look here. But it doesn't really matter because all we need are some shapes that we can inject and go from there. So for this particular person, what do we do? Okay, yeah, we're just gonna do a triangle head. And hopefully it will make sense of this when we get to the next step here. But looking kind of dunce cappy. Okay. So again, for this, the color doesn't matter. The shapes don't really matter. What matters is that we are getting some items that we can test and prove the concept of being able to inject SVG code into an image and make it work. So I'm gonna change these up. I wasn't going to, but now I'm going to. Okay. Just so we have some differentiation here. I'll make it easier. Something I did. Yeah. Okay. So we made some basic shapes that we want to turn into SVGs. And I'm actually going to get rid of these outlines. Because I don't want those. That's just going to be more code to track later on. All right. So once we've kind of made these, the thing that we want to do then is actually deconstruct them. So I'm going to duplicate the slide 3 times. And this might be making it more difficult than it needs to be, but this will just ensure that our shapes stay where we want them to be. Because what kind of matters is the SVG code that comes out of this. And so we'll repeat that for this one. And I'm leaving one just so we can see what it is, and then we'll have a deconstruction of that. Okay. And the secret sauce of all this is just in letting PowerPoint do its thing, where we will export, and we want, well, and we can do this 2 ways. We can export it and change file type, which is for some reason the way I default. It's the long way, but we can also do save as, and that's where this gets you. So I'll show you that. So we change file type, and there's some image types here, but we want to save as another file type. And again, this is just the save as thing. So, and I'm going to go to the desktop on this just so I can find it. Super simple. And save it as an SVG, and this is going to be our SVG avatar creator proof of concept images. Way too long of a title, but hey, we'll do it. And then we want to save all the slides, so we'll make a nice little folder, and I'm actually going to save this as well. And I should have just done this at the start, but creator proof of concept images. I think that's what I said. All right. So, oh wow, yeah. So to go to the desktop and show this, do I have a thing for that? All right. You're gonna see all this. So here we go. All right. So if I go to the desktop and just show that, we get the PowerPoint itself, and then this nice little folder with all the different slides, and those will be just the exact things that we made, but in an SVG format, as we can see here. It's pretty cool. It's definitely nice to have something that we can just make any kind of graphic that we want. All right, so back to this business here. The next step, which is going to be maybe not as fun, is that we're going to be extracting the code from these. And so what I might do with that, okay, here's what I'll do. I didn't think this through. This is kind of just on the fly. So I might not always be the well thought out or well spoken on these, so I hope that's okay. That's what we got. So what I'm going to do is we're going to open up Notepad, and in my handy little Streamlabs OBS, instead of showing the PowerPoint, what I'm going to do is we're going to switch that, hopefully, to Notepad right here. Let's see what we got. Is that looking okay? Cool. This isn't going to be the prettiest thing in the world, but we're going to make it work. So we're going to switch back to here. And the basic idea is that we structure this image in such a way that it's taking variables that we take from the selections we make here, with the hair, the face, the body. And basically within those collections, we make those choices. There will be the little chunks of code that represent those objects. They will get put into the variables and then put into this image, and we should see the things appear that we're looking for. What I'm going to have to do first is clean up some nasty PowerPoint generated SVG code, which is not pretty. And I'm doing this in Notepad because I don't have anything else on this computer yet. Code, like Visual Studio's Code, would be a great way to do this because it color codes things and it's really nice and easy to work with. I'm going to show you the not so cool version, but this is one that anyone could do, because you've got a text editor somewhere on your computer, surely. And if you've got Windows, then you definitely have this. But so what we'll do is I'm going to open up, I'm going to get to the desktop here and open up that grouping of files that I just made. And you can open them with, actually here, let me go ahead and show this. So basically just that same thing, and you can actually right click on these and open with Notepad. You can do this with lots of different things, and if you don't see a Notepad on here, you can actually just go to choose another app, and then if you don't see it here, you can choose more apps, and it should be in this list. And so we're just going to select Notepad. We're not going to always use that because you'd probably want to open a graphic and see the graphic, not the code. So we'll just, yeah, Internet Explorer, we need to change that too. That's not good. New computer. Who dis, I guess is the thing, right? So here's the way that I kind of approach these. and it's manual. It's not fun, but it's what we do. So I basically just take all of these tags and make them their own line. Because this is essentially a lot like HTML, if you're familiar with HTML, in that there's kind of opening and closing tags, and then objects within there. That's maybe a little oversimplified, but that's essentially kind of what you get. So the way I like to structure it personally is I want these opening and closing tags to line up. And then have them nested. But this will also kind of reveal the things that we don't need in this. So I'm just going to kind of cruise here and do this indentation part. Okay, so this actually isn't so ugly compared to what some PowerPoint spits out. But here's kind of what we've got. We've got the header that kind of defines the size of that we're working with, because what SVGs are is essentially just a 2D grid and then instructions on what to draw within that grid. And that's kind of the vector part of the scalable vector graphics. They're basically just pathways that are followed and they make things. So what I've got right here is the first PowerPoint object here, this guy, and the 3 different shapes that are within there, which are represented by these path objects. The rectangle is the background, and so that's this white background here. And so what we're going to be doing is we're basically going to be taking these path objects and putting them into our collection, and those will be the things that get injected. So we kind of want to find out what is in each of them. And an easy way to do that would be either I could take each of these deconstructed objects, which is kind of why I do that. So you can just take it and it has one thing and you know what it is. But we'll do this kind of the long hard way. So I'm going to go back to showing this app. And one thing first. Getting ahead of myself here. A crucial step for this that we have to do is we need to replace all of the double quotes with single quotes. Otherwise, this will just throw errors and not work. So we've got that all done. And now we'll switch back to here. And we're going to just put this image, or put this in our image object. And there's one other step too with this. So first of all, I'm just going to put this text, and it will not give us the image. We'll see this. And this is where I'm going to go to this guy that I always use for this. I should have this little snippet memorized by now, but I don't. So here's the deal. We need this little header thing, and we also have to encode all that SVG business as a URL. Otherwise, it will not show up for us in Power Apps. So I'm going to copy this little part right here and go right here, paste that. And I'm a little bit of a stickler how I arrange these things, so if you'll not mind me doing a little bit of arranging. Oh, what am I doing here? Wow. I'm also pretty keen to typos and errors, apparently. Okay. So I'm going to minimize this, but basically we've got, I always got to do this too. So we've got this little thing that's saying, hey, it's an SVG. It's going to be encoded into a URL, so Power Apps can read it, which looks like this business. And so there we are. We have got our shape. So what's handy about this is that, again, with an SVG, we can change these different things that we don't like, and we can take out some of these things that aren't necessary, like this defs thing. I don't think that we need that, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to take that out and see what we've got here. Yeah, image is totally fine. The next thing is this fill rule, which is even odd, and I don't know what that is, but I don't think we need that either because we've got the fill defined. So we're going to take that out and we're going to see what's left. Yeah, we're good. Something I like to do as well is I want to put these colors in the front because I like being able to see them right away and adjust them right away, because it's a lot more common that I'm going to change something about the color than about all this mess that defines the shape. And just to talk about this a little bit, these are the instructions. These letters are pretty meaningful, and the numbers are basically coordinates. The capital letters in these path objects mean that it is an absolute reference. So that's like an address, like a grid address. You can also do relative. So basically like relative references. So rather than saying like start at point 204, 242 and go to this other point at 204, 155.844, you would say like go over 200 and down 50 or something like that. So you can define those things relative to it. This isn't a thing about learning SVG code, so we won't dive into that too deep. But just so that's there, it can be kind of nice to know. All right, so we've got this. Oh, and I broke something here. What did I break? Right there is what I broke. Spaces matter. There we go. All right. So we've got this shape here. We have in this image basically the definition of this object for our SVG. And we've even got a background. We've got the shape, which we'll just kind of take these out so we can watch this in action. If we take this out, we're going to lose an object, and that is the body. So we know that this is where the body is. This one's probably going to be that face part. Yep. And through oh geez, did I just, yeah, okay. Through process of elimination, this is going to be the hair. And one thing to know about SVGs is that it draws them in the order that you put them. So this is the first thing at the back, and then the next thing to the front will be this one, the next thing to the front, this one, and so on. So this is our object in the forefront. And what I'm going to do is, well, okay, we also don't need that because we're not referencing anything. We just know that this G stands for group. And so all these objects are grouped together. And we're going to leave it like this for now. But some things that we can do that are pretty interesting is that we can, for instance, use text operations to replace things. So if we want to change this color dynamically, we could leave it as this and say do a substitute. So something like, we got to end this text and we got to have this text. We'll say and substitute. And so the text that we were substituting for will be this white. And then what we will substitute in, we'll just do like a text string for this, but you could have a dynamic value from a variable or anything like that. And we'll do gray, just a medium gray there. So yeah, so this is what's really cool to me about SVGs, and I just gave a talk about this, so I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I don't know if any of you guys were there, so hey, we'll just go with it. You basically can just do text operations. You can do if or switch statements to replace things in here, but also we can just use plain old variables because this is just text. And so I'm gonna do something real quick here. I'm gonna rearrange this because I just want to do it this substitute on these path objects. Tab this over and we'll probably take this out, but just to show this, I'm gonna insert a button and let's do update context. Use a context variable here, and we'll call this var new color, new background color. And let's set it. I don't know. Let's go. See if this. I think this will be like a tealish color, I think. But so what we're gonna do is this variable and here. And since we haven't initialized that variable, it's going to default to black. That's going to have SVGs. But when we push this button, yeah, we can change our background color. So all that to kind of show that we've got a lot of different things that we can do with this to exploit the fact that basically an SVG is just a text file. That's text instructions for how to build a shape. So we're going to remove, what are we going to remove here? Basically all of this. And let's see where we still broken here. Oh, right there. Nope. Double quote I'm missing right there. Okay, perfect. All right. So now I'm going to get the second object and gonna just do this kind of off screen real quick. Well, nah, we'll do it on. So you can see all this stuff here. Do much well, actually, we don't need to do all the same stuff because we know that these path objects from here on out are what we're after. So if I just get these, this will be all that I really need. So this information will be the same. That's the same. In fact, this part right here is the same. So really, just these three path objects are what we're after. And again, this is our body, our head, our face, and our hair. So let's go put these. I'm going to switch back here. We'll put these into a collection that we made. Go here. All right. So for the hair one, we're just going to put that, which is the path for the hair. For the first face, and the first body. Okay. And then we'll repeat this for the next one. And again, this is kind of why this this little intensive build. We're not gonna finish everything or a whole lot really as far as this build goes in this stream. And I thought it might go short, but I'm gonna get to the full 2 hours, it looks like. So I'm just replacing the double quotes in that other text, and I'm gonna copy and paste. Let's see. The hair. And his face. And the last body. Okay. So that, run this on start so it's all initialized in there. Now this is still showing that first object because we've just collected things in here. So how to do this? Okay. I think I've got the idea. This won't look great, but it will get us partially where we need to go. So I'm going to put, actually I can just copy from here. Copy this. And we're going to put this in our, oh, I need to put an image object in here. I wasn't thinking about that. Okay. All right. Let's put this in. And we're just going to see this guy repeat, but here's what we want to do. We want to replace this path. And no, we'll leave that. We'll leave the background. We're going to take this out and use our string functions here to put in this item. Oops. This item dot item. I guess I named those pretty well. And then we need to put another ampersand, and we should be good to go. So what we should see here is just the two hair items on the white background. And all right, that's what we've got. So if we go to face, we'll just have those faces, and body, just those bodies. So this, yeah, it's a way to do it. It's basic, but we're getting down the path here. Oh, let me change this to, this is just bugging me a bit, to pressed color. No, we're not doing the color. I'm gonna do the fill, and I'm gonna do the pressed fill, do a color fade, if I can type, and self dot fill, and let's see, we'll do, I don't know, take a shot in the dark here. We're gonna go 20%, and this we will do 10%, and yeah, I can make it dark, and then we click it. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. That's good for now. Okay, so we've got it to where we're filtering these shapes down. We've got these shape objects in our collection. What we need to do is set up some variables to use. So what we'll do is we're going to do a nice little switch statement with the onSelect property. Okay, if I could type. And here's what we're going to look for. We've got 3 different categories, and so we're going to look at this item dot category, and those are hair. What was it? Face? I guess I could look. Face and body, yeah, okay. Okay. And then based on, so what this is going to do is, again, with our filtering, if we've got hair selected, then we're going to do something just for hair, just for face, or just for body. And the thing we want to do is we want to set a variable that will basically hold whatever that item is, and then through that variable stick it into the image. So this is going to be our variable, let's say selected hair, and this item, and we can just copy this guy and change this to face and this to body. Okay, so in theory now, and we'll do a little check here. And actually, get rid of this button. What we're going to do is we're going to say var, and we'll just test it on the hair for right now. So when we select something here, we should see that little path object pop up. All right. All right. Hey. Oh, I'm noticing I didn't clean those up. So let's do that really quick. Just so we're, oops. So we're all good here. I just don't like having extra junk in there. So we'll clean these guys up. Oh, yeah. Okay. There's a lot of boring stuff in this these types of builds. So I'll try to just keep this stuff light while we're streaming and maybe do more of this stuff off camera, as they say, because yeah, nobody wants to just hang out and watch someone edit text for 2 hours. All right, so that should be all nice and clean now. So we click that. Yeah, all right, perfect. This is great. So we've got our variables set up, and I guess we could test these, but it's going to be the same because we just really copy paste code. But ooh, something's going wrong with that guy. Oh, I see it. Okay. Just missing the quotes. So that was the first face. There and there. Those single quotes really matter. Oh, gotta initialize it. Okay. Perfect. Oh, we did the same thing with the body. Look at that. Okay. Yep, exact same problem. All right. Fixed. Perfect. Okay. So now to figure out how we're gonna inject this bad boy in, and this part's actually going to be pretty easy, I think, because we know what objects they are. We know it's text. So if we do this and then just replace this with the variable name of the item that we want. Excuse me. So for this, it was the body, selected body, right?
People that are different have a shot at being original. You know, they got motivation.
Okay, and we'll just actually do some copy paste. All right, so this is all it should really take to get these things in and start building items. Now, we're gonna test this out. Hey, there we go. Okay, so that is the basic concept there that we were going for. So I think we'll finish one more part up, just to make use of this color picker. And there's still a lot to do, so we will probably continue this next week. But what we'll do is we'll make it so you can choose the color of the shirt with this down here. And that I forgot to. So these buttons with these hover properties here, or pressed and hover. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do the same with this, where we're gonna use the fill 10 and 20. Let's see what we got. So it's all right. One thing I'm going to do though is we're going to set this to be the same. Don't want that expanding border. We'll maybe change that to where it denotes the selected one better. Maybe like have a white or different colored border around it so that it's easier to tell what's selected. Probably do the same thing for these guys, but for right now, we're going to set up another variable, and let's see, I think, yeah, okay. So the way that we want this to go is going to be much like this one. So we're going to just reuse some of this code here. And what we want it to do then is based on, oh yeah, killed that because we're, okay. Yeah, all right. So we want to just add color. Oh, and we gotta change this too. So we're not gonna be referencing this item's category. We want to do gallery 1, selected category. And then, oops, here, color. And instead of this item, I think we just called it color name, which probably wasn't the, well, oh yeah, you know what? I'm making a problem for us here. Because that's a named color, but we need the hex code. So before I sabotage myself too much, whoops, we're gonna go into here. And we need color hex. And let's do our good old color enumeration. Oh, some of these are pretty easy actually, so maybe I'll just freehand this. Oh, all these are easy. Jeez, yeah. Okay, but pay attention to what I'm doing here. Green is RG. Right, so oops. pick the right colors for this so we don't have to futz around too much with knowing what's what with these color codes, but we'll definitely make something more interesting with the real deal. Oh, whoops, what am I doing here? That's white. And gray, I don't know what gray that is, so I will actually look for this one. Oh, okay. Yep. It's our good friend. 80, 80, 80. Whole lot of code so far. Yeah. Yeah. Any chance you're working on it I'm so familiar with? Turn to the workplace. Oh, let me open this real quick. This is that one that they released? Or let me take a look at this. Okay, I'm not familiar with this, but I'm So I thought they had, well, and is this just this is just the power app? Or not? Oh, okay. Oh, it's a solution. Oh, okay, okay. I'm not familiar with this. I've not used it. With a lot of these though, they're usually pretty easy to implement. Depending on how people set them up, but if it is a solution, yeah, I bet it's, yeah, I'm sure it's a humongous topic. Yeah. Well, I need to check it out. I'm guessing though, if it's a solution that you would need the common data service background or data backend on it. So if you're not paying for that kind of upgraded license, there could be some costs involved with that that could come into play. But I will give this a look and see what all it entails and see what I can find, because I'm sure there's a way to adapt it to any data source or something like that. There's got to be some way, and there might be more solutions in here too. I really haven't looked too much in this. I should have. We implemented some of their, like this. We did the crisis communication. Did that one, but because a lot of our guys are in the field, they're not in the office. I mean, we basically have 4 or 5 office workers. Oh yeah. Yeah, let me click on this and see where you're at here. Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, and nothing wrong with that. Because that's an important side of things. And yeah, I don't know much about it, so I'll have to check it out. And since we're on Twitter and LinkedIn and have each other there, yeah, I'll try to take a look and hit you up, and we can chat and see what's up with it. Yeah, that would be handy. Yes, thanks, Sapien. Yep, I'm a work in progress. Could be dude. I'm typically a dude guy, so that's, at least I'm not saying dude all the time, I guess. Trying to get my speech a little better. I don't know. I'm from Wyoming. Nobody expects too much in the ways of politically correct or even correct speech, so I'm in the right state. All right. So, yeah, okay. Sorry, I got just a bit sidetracked what I was doing there. But we're going to change the color of the shirt is what we're going to do. Oh, That's unexpected characters. What we got? Oh, yeah. All right. And I think it said color hex. Was that what we... Yeah. Oh, and I need the trailing curly brace there. All right. Yeah. This is code heavy, sort of, but hopefully not too bad once you see kind of what we're doing here. But so what I need to do, let me think this through real quick. I'm just going to do the body. And when we select a color, we're going to put it into this variable. So I want to use... I need to power for this power up. Yeah, I might. Yeah, no, it'll be okay. This one's a little weird because it's... What it really is basically like a super heavy text editor with pictures, and so it might need its own power up, but we'll get there, man. We'll make it happen. So what I'm thinking is, oh yeah, so I'm trying to think the right variable that I need to edit here. Oh, okay. I've got it, I think. So we've already set a variable that has that code chunk that we want. So we need to update that variable with this color. And what we could also do is update these so they show the color that's selected too. That could be nice. So we'll start with that. And all we're going to do with this is we're going to do substitute for this. And we want to substitute... Oh, whoa. Yeah, we're getting heavy here. Because as soon as I change that, the substitute's not going to work as well. Okay. New plan. I'm going to have to do this a different way, because I don't think this is going to work out. And again, this is kind of par for the course with what I've expected with this. Failure is always an option with the stuff that I'm making. I kind of just wanted to get in and start doing stuff and see what happened and try to get better at building on the fly, because a lot of my projects are more involved. So here's what we need to do. We need to control for what color is currently selected. And we need to look for that and replace it. So we kind of need to initialize some variables here. And then, if I'm thinking about this right, when we store these new colors, that will be the reference for the new one that we can replace. And it should work. We'll try. We'll see what happens here. All right, so I'm going to test it on this, and I will want that substitute. Because with this one, we're just going to basically kind of overwrite the color that's there. And so I'm going to do whatever that color is with, this is like gallery 3, I believe. Dot color hex. And so we just need to kind of fill in the blank of what the selected color is. Wow, and I'm actually going to go long here, so we'll get some bonus time in. I usually just try to stream from 1 to 3. I thought today was going to go short. We're going to go long. It's good. It's all good. We'll just finish this part up, and I'll call it a day here. So I'm going to look at, go back to this and see what that color is. So initially, it's this. And for these objects, it will always be this, because we're just referencing that one object that's hard-coded in. Oh, yep, I got the wrong green there. But so we can see this is kind of working. It's having the wrong shade of green here. That's all right. In fact, I think that's the 80 green, right? This might make sense here. Yeah, all right. So our greens match up, just to have that. So because that's hard-coded, we can simply just substitute color code for it, which is fine for the way this thing looks. That's not a problem in this selector part. But we want it to show up here, and we want it to keep the right color in there. So what can we do for that? Well, okay, let's try this. I've got an idea. I don't know if this will work, but we're going to just try the same thing. So we'll get this little chunk. And here's kind of my thought on this. And we'll just cut this guy out. Put that in there. So this should look right. But the real test is what is going to come out of this, because the ultimate goal would be to not just have something we can see, but something that we could export out of here and use as an avatar. So that's the thing. So let me get text input, because these are easy to do as a multi-line so that we can see everything. There we are. And all we're going to return is the text from this. Basically, it's image1.image. And kind of what I'm looking for, yeah, so it's ugly, but what I can kind of tell from this, just by seeing like the colors and stuff in here, so let me turn this a little bit bigger, but this path fill is that it is pulling in the literal text of this. So I don't think that I need to worry too much about doing more with that, and I could just reference the variable rather than the selected color, so that we can get, let's see here, so rather than doing this, I want to do the var and selected body color. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, I'm making more problems here. Okay. So this part will only work with the body things, and I'm not doing anything to differentiate between selecting different items, which is actually okay for right now. And what I'm meaning by that is, so selecting different colors here, it changes it rightly here, but the code is missing it for color changing the other objects, which is fine. We'll leave that for now. But the main thing is we want to get this code cleaned up, to do var selected body color. Okay. Okay. Well, I think that's an okay place. I'm good for stopping there. The proof of concept is kind of holding up. And the thing that I was trying to go for is that we can make a dynamic image here. And then we can change properties of that. And this is good. So this is working nicely, that it's not selecting things when I've got other objects or other types selected, because it's updating the variable for those, and we don't have anything telling it to use that. So when I go to the body though, this then is updating that correctly. So that's good. All right. Well, I realize I haven't saved this the entire time. So thankfully nothing crashed. So let's save this real quick. And yeah, I'm gonna call that a streaming day. Thank you so much for hanging out, Quasar Chains. It was awesome to chat with you for a bit, and I'm sure we'll be in touch, on social and other things. I'm coming here every Saturday from 1 to 3. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, we're just gonna keep building stuff and doing this. So yeah, thank you, and hope you have a great night. Enjoy your tofu, and we'll hopefully catch you next time.